I say you're Jamaican representing for World Jam Global Radio, me I say you don't know. Just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it, just do it.
Hey, what's up now?
Brother, what's up?
This is a big party, man.
Yeah,
I
brother,
can
like
dig it.
solid. Right on.
Hey, man, what's your name?
World Jam Global Radio, this is Clarity.
Well, good evening, Globalites from around the world. It's Dr. Feelgood. It's Saturday night. It's 6 o'clock. It's time for the Fingers It.
Brother, there's far too many of you dying.
2 hours of news, reviews, updates, and interviews. Thrown into the mix, we got some good music too.
We don't need to escalate.
Going out around the world.
War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate.
What's going on, my friends? I said, what's going on?
To bring some love and here today. Oh, picket lines and picket signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, say good evening to Mr. George Flavors.
Right on.
And as far as I'm aware, it's still 0-0 in the big game between Chelsea and Manchester United tonight over here in the UK. We know how important football is, right? Live on Sky as we speak. On tonight's show, I should be going over live to Uganda. We're going to be talking to Jazz STRACHAN. That's right, our very own DJ Laro's niece, who's currently out there volunteering in Uganda. She's been out there for a little under 6 weeks now. And World Jam Global Radio was more than happy to fund, sponsor, and promote. So we're looking to try and get a live connection with Jazz around about 10 past 6. Get a little update on how things are going out there.
Come on, talk to me. You can see what's going on. Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on.
I'm still struggling to get a signal out there at the minute, but I'm going to keep on trying. I'm just waiting for a contact.
Right on.
I'm also going to update you on a few shows that we got lined up. And believe you me, we got some big ones.
Right on.
World Jam Global Radio, this is Clarity.
Okay, just to update you on, last week's show was absolutely off the hook. And it's still being tweeted all over the world. The feature of the last week's show was obviously the unlawful killing of Walter Lamar Scott, and we had Dr. David Ramey, Satish Sekar. We also had Alex Salazar, who was an ex-LAPD law enforcement officer, and we had a minister and activist, Greg Greer. That particular show was absolutely off the hook, and it's still doing its rounds around the world. So much so that we are now being inundated with people who actually want to get on board World Jam Global Radio and get their live debates out through the Fingers It on World Jam Global Radio. So I'm going to update you on a couple of shows that we've already got lined up, just based on the success of last week's show alone. And we've got other shows that we've also got lined up, which are going to be coming up very, very soon. I'm going to keep post you up and keep you updated with them. We should have jazz around about 6:10, I believe. That's about another 5 minutes or so. And we're going to have a bit of a chit and chat, and probably a bit of music tonight. It's light-hearted. Last week was heavy. We're going to try and keep it light tonight, and maybe just keep you updated as well as the latest score coming up on the Man United Chelsea game, which is live on Sky as we speak, and I believe is currently 0-0. Okay, let's just play another track, shall we, while we wait for jazz.
World Jam Global Radio, this is Clarity. This is Clarity.
Sounds of Jill Scott. I love this. Don't know, do you remember the advert?
Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. On a beautiful day. Daydream. I dream of you amid the flowers. For a couple of hours. Such a beautiful day. It's a smile from behind my giant robot's eyes. I keep him happy cause I might fall out if he cries. Scared of heights so I might pass out if he flies. Keep him on autopilot cause I can't drive. Room enough for one, I tell my homies they can't ride. Unless we're sitting on the shoulders, but that's way too high. Let's try not to step on the children. The news cameras filming this walking project building. Now there's hoes selling hoes like right around the toes. And the crackheads beg at about the lower leg. There's crooked police that's stationed at the knees. And they do drive-bys like up and down the thighs. And there's a car chase going on at the waist. Keep a vest on my chest. I'm sitting in my room as I'm looking out the face. Something to write about. I still got some damage from fighting the White House. Just a daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. On a beautiful day. Daydream. I dream of you amid the flowers. For a couple of hours. Such a beautiful day. Now come on everybody, let's make cocaine cool. We need a few more half-naked women up in the pool. And hold this Mac 10 that's all covered in jewels. And can you please put your titties closer to the 22s? And where's the champagne? We need champagne. Now look as hard as you can with this blunt in your hand. And now hold up your chain, slow motion through the flames. Now cue the smoke machines and a simulated rain. But not too loud cause the baby's sleeping. I wonder if it knows what the world is keeping. Up both sleeves while he lay there dreaming. Me and my robot tiptoe round creeping. I had to turn my back on what got you paid. I couldn't see, had the hood on me like Abu Ghraib. But I like to thank the streets that drove me crazy. And all the televisions out there that breaks me. I was daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. What a beautiful day. Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. Such a beautiful day. Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers. For a couple of hours. We are not alone, no. We are not alone. Hey, yeah, man, you don't know it's Mitch again, representing for World Jam Global. It live, it up.
Well, I gotta be honest with you. I've got a secret agent who's working out for me in the United States of America, and she's actually a hard worker. She goes by the name of Linda Sue, and she's part of an organisation called Copwatch, And this week we decided that the Fing is gonna be the flag post for broadcasting stories that are prominently around the police misconduct area, miscarriages of justice, police brutality, and especially, in particular, black death in police custody. This is nothing new, but it is something that is okay. I think we're going to go. I'm going to stop this now because I think we're going to go live to Jazz now. Bear with me. So I'm gonna just try and go live to Jazz now as we speak. Hey, how are we doing, Jazz? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. But
Okay.
I don't know how the light is.
Don't worry about the look because the video won't go out on the internet. It's the audio that will go out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let's look. Oh, we just lost signal, so I'm gonna try it again. Bear with us. We're gonna do this thing. I do know that they've been having a problem with signal out there in Uganda. So stick with me while I try and get it back for us. And if we don't, I'll just drop into another track and we'll do it again. Okay, here we go. We're doing this thing again. I can hear the ring. Are you with me? Hi. Okay, yep, we can hear you. You're live on World Jam Global Radio.
Hi, everyone.
Good.
I'm here with another volunteer called Diana, who's at the same project as me.
Okay. So do you
Hello, my name.
Go on.
Yeah, from Iceland.
Hi, Hannah. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How is everybody?
We're all good. You know, if you was to turn off your video on your set, the signal will be much stronger.
Yeah, we did that.
Okay,
I'm sorry. The signal is not very good here.
Yeah, the signal's not very good.
Are you just on audio now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Anyhow, Jazz, it's great to hear your voice.
It's great to hear.
I do know there's quite a few people who are tuned in all over here, your family in particular, who are all dying to know what's going on for you out there in Uganda.
Okay.
Yes, tell them, Jess, about all the wonderful things that have happened.
Okay, so we have been, me and Yana, the other volunteer from Iceland, have been volunteering at a primary school in Buyege in Uganda for 3 months now. And it's been challenging at times.
Really challenging.
Okay, what sort of challenges have you come across, Jazz?
Just the fact that I guess it's not very organised at the school because of how education is out there, and
they're very discriminated.
Okay, well, the children are discriminated against.
Actually, it's we who are discriminated against.
Okay.
And we've also felt that when we try to implement our ways of discipline, and which are not caning,
they get offended.
They get very offended.
Right.
And other than that, the children are very lovely, and the children we have been working with, we have seen a change in them.
They show progress.
Yes, they have shown a load of progress.
Okay. And so what are the main areas of support are you giving in the school in Bulgaria?
We've been teaching them, and we've been teaching like the fun stuff like arts and PE and music and stuff like that. And we've been implementing our punishments if they're misbehaving, and that have worked so much better than the caning and beating and mistreatment the other teachers and nuns are giving them.
And we've also been implementing things like teamwork and group activities within all the lessons we teach, like football, for sport.
And women and men's equality.
Yes.
Okay. So what part of what I hear you trying to say is that the discipline in particular is still quite brutal.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though there is a law over here that says no caning.
Yeah.
Is the law just disregarded? Is there no way of challenging that law? The fact that the law is implemented or supposed to be implemented, those that break it, is there no recriminations?
They just hide it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the other day they had like a news crew come in to video the kids, and when they had come in, like we saw all the teachers hiding the canes and stuff, which shows that they're not supposed to do it. And that if they were to be caught, it would be a serious punishment for them.
What, for the teachers?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the school.
For the school, right? So the teachers and the school would face some form of serious punishment and reprimand, but they still ignore that.
Yeah.
So
Yes, they do.
So what do you think the issue is? Is it a bullying thing, or is it just something that they firmly believe in that's integrated, institutionalized in their form of education?
The thing is,
I think people are just not happy with their lives.
Okay.
and we've also tried to speak to some of the teachers about it and change their mind about the way they choose to punish the children, but they always say the child's ears are in their bum. So if they cane the bum, I mean, if you take away the cane, then the child will not grow up right.
Right, okay. So that's obviously something that you guys struggle quite strongly with, and I can hear that distinctly by what you're trying to say to us here tonight.
Yeah. There is one person at the school that we managed to change his mind.
Okay.
And
Then one misstep.
he had one misstep, but he promised he wouldn't cane again after that.
Okay, so, I mean, between yourself and Hannah, now Hannah's from Iceland and Jazz, you're here from the UK. Is there a difference in discipline in both you two's culture? I mean, you know, because I'm not too familiar with Iceland. I've had a few contacts from Iceland, but I don't know about the Icelandic culture. So, Hannah, I suppose I'm speaking to you. Is there much of a difference in your approach to discipline as opposed to Jazz's from the UK? I'm just trying to balance the two.
It's just we both come from Western countries, and I think it's similar from the Western countries and when we get to a third world country, because we are not used to making our kids hold their hands up and tell them to hold them up until they get stiff and tired as a punishment.
Right.
That's simply torture.
Okay. You know, when we were growing up,
we punish our children. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
Pardon? We just punish our children by with a timeout, like you, and detentions, and we talk to them and explain why we are disappointed in what they do and their consequences of doing what they're doing, and then they often feel ashamed, which makes them don't want to do these things again. But here, when they are caned, it often provokes them, and they want to challenge the person, and they get annoyed with the person that hurt them.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Here in the UK, many years ago, they started implementing positive appraisals for even down into the preschools and nursery schools, etc., where children started to be applauded and rewarded for good behaviour and good work. So, have you been? Was that there present, and is that something that you have introduced, or you're looking to introduce in order to counterbalance the brutality that they're dealing with? Hey, any one of you two can answer that one.
Sorry, Uncle, I didn't understand what you just said.
Okay. First and foremost, let me just say this, Jazz. We've got your Uncle Larry, DJ Matt, Triple M, George Flavors, Lucian Rose, that's your Auntie Jessica. You've got a whole pile of people saying, hi, Jazz, all over here in the UK. And they're all tuning in, and they're all looking forward to hearing exactly how you're doing out there in Uganda. The question that I was asking you is, here in the UK, many years ago, they started to implement positive appraisals with young children, way back from preschool, in primary school, and going up. So therefore, when children were doing well or behaving, they were rewarded appropriately, right? So is that something that you've been able to implement? Is that something that you're looking to implement? I think we've just lost them again, guys, so bear with me. I'm going to try and get them back. The signal is not that great in Uganda. So we are live here on World Jam Global Radio.
We are not alone, no. We are much alone. Hey, yeah, man, you don't know it's Mitch again, representing for World Jam Global. It live, it up.
We're still trying to get a connection, so bear with me.
I'm going to say you're Jamaican representing for World Jam Global Radio. I say you don't know. Just do it.
World Jam Global Radio, this is Clarity.
Hey, are you there, Jazz? Are you there, Jazz? Hi, Jazz. Hi, Jazz. Got a connection. Okay, it's gone again. Let's try again. It's terrible trying to deal with these third world countries. Oh, what have I got here? I've got somebody. Somebody's trying to get me. Let me try again. Come on, let's do this thing. Hey, have we got you back now?
Yes, you've got us back.
Yeah, this is Africa.
Okay, it's a third world country. We do understand, and we'll try and keep this. But how long have we got you for, by the way, Jazz? How long? Because I do know that you were kind of tied up tonight. How long have we got you for online?
However long, Uncle.
Okay, well, that sounds cool to me then. Right, okay. So I was trying to talk about these appraisals, whether or not you've been able to implement them in any way. And if so, or if not, is there a obstruction to doing so? Would that conflict with how they operate? Are they open to any of these type of suggestions?
Okay, now I understand you. So with the classes we've been teaching, we've implemented detentions, and we've already seen that some of the teachers sort of look at us like, okay, why are you trying to take over? Like, who do you think you are? Okay.
So any change that you try to implement is not actually met with any kind of positivity then?
No.
None
at all.
So I would imagine what you're really trying to say is that the regime that's there, the structure that they have there is pretty rigid, and they're not prepared to. It's as if they don't want to move left or right of it.
No.
Okay.
Because I think their belief is that because they've all grown up in poor areas, they've all been through it, so they just choose to continue the chain.
So they're not open to change.
No.
But in order for them to be go on.
We think it's a little bit of a revenge kind of thing, because they're all really they're not happy. The people are not happy with their lives, and they're not happy where they are, and they all want to go somewhere completely different. And one time, this teacher admitted to us that he caned a child because he was annoyed to another adult teacher.
Wow.
And he punished the child for that.
So he punished the child because he was upset with another adult whom he couldn't confront.
Yes.
And that's just, I mean, that would not be tolerated in the UK. Okay, so that's, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of negative stuff out there that you guys are actually having to come across and overcome in order for you to be able to accomplish what it is that you set out to do. So based on what it is that you set out to do, how much satisfaction are you getting from that?
I mean, it's it makes us appreciate where we come from and what we have gotten to learn from life, and what we get to learn in school. We get to learn appreciation, and we get to learn that people are different, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing that people are different, and we can do all sorts of things, and we can help each other because people are like, I am good at this and you are good at this, but here they are all kind of in this box, and if you go out of it, then you are made fun of and even pushed out, and they don't want anything to do with you if you're different.
Is it not easy to accept that because of the Idi Amin regime, for example, and their inhumane ways of dealing with their own people, and how long they've been ostracized from outside world and outside help, is it not understandable why they're so far behind?
Yeah, it is understandable, but we've been thinking that they're like, they have been, okay, it might sound bad, but they've been getting help a lot, and they're used to begging, like the children, when they see us, they come up to us with their hands.
Yeah.
So they're just waiting for someone to just fix everything.
Okay. What is the economy like at the moment in Uganda? Is it good? Is it terrible? Is poverty really strife?
It's horrible.
Yeah, it is. Like, before I came here, I didn't expect so much poverty, but you walk around in, like, the city and you see so many kids on the street just begging and in the most dirtiest clothes, holes. Their skin is just dirty, their hair is matty, and it's just
Their genitals is on the floor, getting dirty.
I guess, I don't know, it's just like you go to the city and expect it to be like full of a load of people that have done well for themselves, but it's 50-50. You see so many people that are not doing well.
We get,
go on, Anna.
and then we get like little bit of the impression that they're jealous, and then they get annoyed with us, like, what are you doing here? Why are you in our country? Can't you just stay at home in your good houses and your good beds with your food, and why do you have to come here and show us how good you're doing? Or it's really hard at times.
It's I suppose you can understand from the poverty mentality. You kind of throwing salt onto their wound. I mean, Uganda has been a country that has been under corrupt governments for years. The corruption has been rife out there, and they've sold out their people on many occasions to different regimes. In order for them to line their own pockets for so long that nobody with any good sense and good business actually does business with them anymore. And that is the backlog of why there's no investment in the infrastructure, the most important infrastructures, which is education, hospitals, and places where people really need help. What are the streets like, the homes like, what are the communities like?
The streets are
filled with begging kids and people that are different.
Okay.
Like
people with disabilities, begging children, begging adults. It's just, and that's everywhere, no matter where you go.
So, answer me this then. Go on.
Like, they're not appropriate at all. Like,
Okay.
you can go to, like, where we've been staying.
Yeah, I think that's a good
Yeah.
benefit.
The room that Yana has been staying in is, like, full of damp, but they don't have enough money to fix that, so Yana's been getting quite sick in that room. But she's pulled through.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the ordinary amenities like? You know, like water and stuff like that. Baths, showers, water to drink. What's the basic?
Dirty.
What's it
They
like?
have water tanks,
Right.
with some of them filled with rainwater, and some of them they get water that is boiled, but it has a lot of cholesterol. Oh no, isn't it called cholesterol? Something. We got a drink for it before we came here.
Cholesterol.
Are you cutting it? Yeah.
Yeah, and they get really sick from the water, and they get malaria, like we get cold.
Right. I mean, there was always talk of Africa, and especially places like Uganda, where fevers and stuff like that was always rife. But you'd have thought in modern times now this would have improved. So it hasn't improved in Uganda.
No, not at all.
They think mosquito nets equals no malaria, but it's just not enough.
Because right now, about 8 of the children at the school have malaria.
And the sister, the nun, has had 3 or 4 times malaria. Yes, since we've been here.
Wow. I mean, although we haven't got great signal with you guys at the minute, and it does keep breaking up. We want to try and carry this on for a little bit while we've got the chance to, because we supported you. World Jam Global Radio helped sponsor and raise money to send you out there, and all of this is part of your progression and your growth. And for you to learn something as well. So share a bit with us about what you're learning for yourselves that you're going to be able to take back with you when you leave. Don't mean to ask you big. Don't go shy on me now. We're live on air, going out around the world.
She's such a cutie, this cousin of yours.
Oh.
Well, for me, I've gotten to know how lucky I am to have gotten education that taught me to try to understand other cultures and try to understand other people and not be so quick to judge, because when I come here, my mouth drops sometimes because of the things that people say. Like, I am called the white one, Jazz is called the black one, and one of the teachers is called the fat one. And we're like, don't you know our names?
We're really grateful that in the UK we get taught not to discriminate and stuff like that. But over here it's so much different. So yeah, I guess.
Wow, you're having to learn fast, huh?
Okay, yeah.
Do you guys actually feel like you've just got into a time warp?
Yeah, really. Because I remember my father, when he was young in school, he's about 55 now, that he was beat with the school ruler in his school. And that was about 45 years ago or so. And here they are beaten in their school. So, yeah, it is like being in a time or something.
I mean, I grew up in a time where you were beaten with a cane, slipper, and ruler. So I'm aware of that kind of discipline, and I'm also aware that those people that used to minister out that sort of discipline sometimes used to do it in a very unruly and undisciplined way, and used to do it because they were having a bad day. Is that what you're feeling that's still going on? Because I mean, based on what you said earlier on about the guy who.
How it is over here.
Wow.
And there was another situation where there was a teacher that was upset with us about something.
But they couldn't hit you with a cane, right?
Yeah, but they couldn't hit us with the cane. So because a child walked away from him, and he told the child to do something, so the child started to walk away. And then he went after the child and came the child's back. Which I think is wrong, because the child had already started walking away to go and do what he had told that child to do.
So where are the parents in this equation? Because I mean, here in the UK, there are some parents that will just not tolerate their children being treated in a certain way. And when you're talking about legislation or law being put in place, and this is things that they're not supposed to be doing, where are the parents when these laws are being broken against their children?
It's a boarding school.
Wow.
And here the law is so new, the law, that Many of the families still do it though.
Yeah. But the
Wow.
thing that upsets us the most is the fact that these parents have sent their children to this boarding school to get a good education and get a better way of life.
Yeah.
But if they were to be in this school and see what actually happens to their children behind closed doors, it would not be like this. There'd
Wow.
be so much trouble between the parents and the teachers.
So, what difference? Before I go into that question, Larry wants to know, where are you now? Are you in a city? Are you in a country? Are you in a village?
It's my last Saturday, so we were gonna go out to dinners on some fancy place in Kampala, the city.
Okay. So, where are you guys actually now? Where are you now? Are you in a village? In a town? Where are you?
We're in a hotel room in the town.
Okay, so you're in the town, and the town that you're
Yeah.
in is the town just as bad as the villages that you've been?
No.
It's more mixed.
Okay. And how do you guys
Yeah,
how do you guys get served in the shops and places like that in the town? Are you welcomed? Are you treated with?
Really? See,
Not at all. We get overcharged all the time because we're from Western countries and we're automatically rich.
yeah, and they want us to pay more because they think we owe them that.
Right. Wow. What I would suggest then, it's a real eye opener for you both.
Yeah. A real eye opener.
And what the teacher, he told us his salary, and it's he's the head teacher, so he's above the other teacher, so he gets more, and he gets about £15 a week.
Wow. £15 a week. You mean the equivalent of 15 UK pounds, right?
£50.
Well, based on their economy and the price of stuff out there, how far would that get him? How would that allow him to support his family?
It wouldn't get him far.
It doesn't get him far.
Well,
And he's also been trying to support his little sister at university, and he's waiting to save enough for him to go to university and study too.
And he's the head teacher.
He has to. Yeah, he's the head teacher.
Wow. I mean, people complain over here that teachers are sometimes underpaid and that sort of thing, but I suppose that's quite laughable now when you measure that with what's going on out there, right?
Yeah.
£15 a week.
And another thing is that he is just living in a room like us. It's just literally a bedroom, and like a little dining room where he just cooks and stuff.
And with garden chairs.
With garden chairs, and it's not right. He's a head teacher, and that is the way he's living, and yet he still tries to provide for his family.
Wow. So, what sort of professions earn good or great money out there?
Doctors.
Yeah, doctors, and most of them try to get in business because then they know they can get out of this country.
Right.
So nobody really wants to be here.
I was also told by someone that I was speaking to the other day that over here, or in Africa as a whole, being a teacher is like one of the lowest jobs you can get.
Being a teacher is one of the lowest jobs you can get.
And that's the most important thing they need here, education.
Wow. So, Matt wants to know, what is the fee for the school? Is there a fee to send your children to the boarding school?
What?
Is there a fee? Does it cost to send your children to the boarding school?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
And what is the cost?
It's 70,000 Ugandan shillings a month, which is equal to
15 point something pounds.
15 point something pounds a month.
Wow, so it would be the equivalent of a week's wages for that school teacher to be able to send his child to a boarding school.
Yeah.
and that's for a month.
A quarter of his monthly wages.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had 3 children, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And here the people don't have 3 children; they have 12.
Wow. So only one can go to school.
Mm.
2 at the most.
I find that a lot of them have to choose out of their children which one they can send to school. Because
Wow.
there's a situation with this girl, a girl that we have taken to quite a bit because she's so thankful, grateful, and she always puts God first. Anyways, we've taken to her a lot, and she has a little sister that her mum is trying to get into this because of the cost. She's unable to let that daughter go to school, so the sister is trying to sponsor that sister. I mean, her little sister, but obviously the sister has other children that are parentless at the school that have already been sponsored, so it's really hard knowing that one of the woman's children are at that school already and she can't get the other one education, basically.
So what happens to the children that can't go to school? What happens? Where do they go? What do they do?
They get forced out to being on the street,
Doing what?
begging for money.
Okay. And so is it the parents send them out begging?
Yeah,
We
sometimes.
believe so.
Okay.
And we've been forbidden to give them obviously not money and not food. We're supposed to tell them about associations like ABC or UNICEF or some association that helps kids in these situations, but they don't understand, and only thing they can think is like mommy asked me to come out here to beg for money, and if I don't bring anything home I'll be beaten. So
Wow. I mean, it's Lila Smith says it's a real eye opener. She's listening to the interview. So are many others who are beginning to get an understanding of what you guys are actually being challenged with out there. So, how do you control your emotions, your feelings, confronted by such a brutal regime, knowing that in the countries that you both come from, this would be absolutely and totally unacceptable?
It is hard, and I guess I'm just going to relate back to my project because I've had a situation that I've been through recently. On my project, I'm there with Yana, and I've had so many situations where I've actually broken out in tears, and Yana's broken out in tears, but by having each other, it's helped us a lot. But recently, because Yana's been, she's come into her duration of being here,
I'm going home.
I've been forced to sort of get myself out of there because I know that if I was to stay there on my own, I would be faced with so many challenges and be unhappy all the time. I wouldn't be myself. I try and isolate myself because that's how I was even with Yana there.
Okay.
Just being able to talk to her about my emotions and her being able to talk to me about her emotions. I don't know, it just made us a little stronger.
It helped us a lot to be able to lean on each other, and if Jazz was the one going home, I could not be in that place alone, because it's really hard to say, but the grown-ups, they are really fake. They make you think they are their friends, but then they just talk about you behind your back, and they ask you for stuff, and they're always asking and asking and asking, and they're never thankful or grateful or what we're doing for them. So it's been much easier for us to be together, and if we would be just one person in that place, it would be easy for that person to just break down.
How much of this that you're confronted with, how much of this that you're experiencing now, did you actually expect to come across before you went there?
Well, really, we knew what we were gonna do, but yet again we had no idea. So
I think we knew that we would be shocked, but not as much as we have been.
Yeah, we didn't know exactly what we were going in, but we knew we were going in something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we often hear about just how poverty-stricken and far behind some of these African and third countries are. But I think none of us are ever prepared for what we actually experience when we get there. There's loads of they have a specific number, loads of orphanages, for example, out there, haven't they?
Oh, man.
Hi, Jazz.
Yes, I'm here.
I was referring to the orphanages and stuff that they've got out there. They've got a lot of orphanages out there, haven't they?
Yeah.
And how does the education system support those that are in orphans, so to speak?
Well, yeah, they have sponsors from Western countries, and then goes just back to the thing that they expect us to just it sounds so bad, but do everything for them.
Okay.
Just like when we asked the people, like one of the teachers wanted to come to my country and work, and I said to him, yes, then you can send an email to my to the government, and you can send the email to the government in Uganda, and you're gonna have to send an application. And then he answered, can't you just do it for me? So they don't really
expect to do anything.
But is that not because they don't understand the process?
No. He has a computer. He knows how to send an email. He has an email account. They don't want any trouble. They just...
In other words, if there's going to be a knockback, they'd rather you get it.
Yeah. And Uncle Kervin, another situation is that recently, Yana had been raising money on Facebook because we decided that we wanted to do a library over there.
Okay.
Because they had like space, like just a room, an empty room donated to them in 2000. And now it's 50 years have gone by, nothing has happened to that room. It's just been left there to rot. Wow. But we decided, okay, we're going to do this library up because it will help the children with their learning. I mean, reading helps a lot, but they don't understand that. So we've been doing it up. No one helped us.
No one.
None of the teachers. Every time the teachers walked past and said, well done to us as we were painting and everything, we said, so when are you coming to help? The answer we got constantly was, we're busy.
Excuses upon excuses.
Excuses upon excuses. And we just finished painting that room on Thursday.
And we were exhausted, like our bodies were just overworked.
But another thing relating to how they expect you to do everything is that after we had said, yes, we're going to do that library, one of the teachers had come to us and said, oh, okay, so we have another project that we want you to look into, but we don't have the money to do it.
Wow. You know, I keep saying wow because for me, I'm 54 years of age this year, and had I gone out to another country on mission, I'd have gone expecting to do my bit as much as I can. But I think even I would have struggled as a full-grown adult with many years of experience, having to encounter what you guys have encountered. And for two young girls to go out there and do what you've done and continue to do it, all I can do at this moment in time is really just take my hat off to you and applaud you for being strong, brave, courageous, committed, consistent, persistent in what you're doing. And I think everybody on World Jam Global Radio who has supported you on this would say the same thing. We take our hat off to you. What's next? I mean, you say that Hannah's on her way back. This is her last week. What are you going to do? How will you manage on your own now? Where will you go next, Jazz?
Well, this weekend, we came to the city and went to the charity office over here.
Yeah, actually just a time out from everything.
Yeah, we needed a little time out from everything, but I spoke to the organisation over here, and told them how unhappy I was, and they decided they're not going to let me go back there because they know that if I was to go back there, I will break down. Because they could see my emotions whilst I was speaking to them. So they contacted a kindergarten in Kampala,
right,
and asked them if they could take me in. And I honestly don't think I'd get the place, but I got a call from the organisation to say, yes, you've got the place.
Wow.
So I'm no longer in Buyeke, but I'm in a kindergarten. Well, I will be in a kindergarten from Thursday next week in Kampala.
Wow. You know, I think many fully grown adults would have given up and got on a plane home by now. And I'm surprised is the wrong word. I cannot find words to express my sheer pride in what you guys have managed to accomplish in the time that you've had here. And the same is coming out in the chat room at the minute. Words of proud of you, and yes, ditto, is all coming out on the chat room at the minute. As people are listening to what you guys have had to go through. Do you think that after you've left, people will, you've gone now, you won't be going back. In your absence now, this week or the week after, do you think that you've left enough of an impression that some people might even check their approach after you've gone and see where they might have gone wrong? Do you think you've left an impression?
Yeah, I think we definitely made an impression because there was this one incident when Jazz was handing out pens, and she was handing them out we started in a class that we had been teaching, and we asked the children. Yep.
Okay. And before we went into that class, I said to Yana, I don't want to do this because I know that they are going to be so bad and try to steal so many pens.
Yeah, they are really...
But we was really surprised that when we got in there and started handing out the pens, they all just sat there so nicely.
Yeah, they did exactly what we asked them to. We just asked them to sit right in their places quietly and accept their pens, and everybody said thank you, and it was no riot, nobody ran towards us, they didn't ask for another pen, and they didn't try to get another pen. It was just, it went all smoothly, and we were really proud of them. But then we went to another class,
a class with an older age group.
Yeah, which we thought would be more mature, but we are not teaching them, and
we haven't been teaching them at all.
They hadn't had us in the classroom as teachers, and they didn't have our punishments and our improvements, if I can call it like that. And when we started handing out pens, they didn't sit in their seats. They started jumping up on us, trying to get in the back, asking for this pen and that pen, and it was horrible.
A number of them got more than one pen,
and some got none, and it was so disrespectful to us, because we were handing out pens, and they dared to do this to us, and we ended up just sending everybody out with a disappointment in our eyes. And in the end of the day, one kid from that class came to us and told us his remorse about the incident, and told us he was so sorry and he didn't want to disappoint us like that. And that made us again proud, because he saw that
he's wrong.
Yeah.
And how wrong his class was.
Wow.
Because if they have gotten caned for their misbehaving, do you think the kid would come back to the teacher that caned him and say, "I'm so sorry for what I did. I didn't mean to do it. I know it was wrong of me. I'm not going to do it again"?
And I think that's why it's so hard to like stand around at the school and watch the teachers judge us and look at us and say, well, your ways of disciplining aren't doing anything, when we can clearly see that we walked into that class that we taught and they were all angels. Like, they wouldn't do that for any other teacher.
Here's a question for you guys. At your age, if you was to walk into any school in the UK or even in Uganda or even in Iceland as a volunteer, you'd be accompanied by an adult or another teacher who would supervise your handling of the class. Did you have supervisors, people overseeing what you were doing?
No.
I think I already knew the answer to that when I asked the question, but I just wanted to hear it from you.
Uncle, we're frowned upon. They will never walk into our class and look at the way we're teaching because it's not the way they teach. They don't like the fact that we've come into their school and changed things.
But is it not them that are inviting people to come in and help and support?
Yeah, they are, but clearly they're just doing it for
the
money.
Yeah.
Because
and that's what we've noticed.
Yeah, we paid a lot of, we paid an amount to come here to help them and volunteer, and basing of the place we're staying and the food we're eating, it shouldn't be this expensive. So we're just thinking, where is the rest of our money going?
And I guess it's harder for us to see that they just
don't appreciate
our help at all.
Well, listen, Griselda has sent a message through your Uncle Harry, and he says to tell Jazz and Yana, stay strong, and if they change just one life, if you change one life, you've had victory. If you made a difference to one person, it's a victory.
Yeah.
You know, if you could change the heart of one child, it's a victory. If you change the heart of one of those adults, one of those teachers, it's a victory.
Well, I guess
exactly that's
a nice thing to take in, because the classes we teach are classes of 60 and more.
Did you say 60? 60?
75 or something, and
75 children in one class.
Come on now, now you're making this up. 60 to 75 people in one class.
How hard you are.
Yeah, 75 children in one class.
Wow. 75 children in one class.
Yeah, the first week was horrid.
I could imagine. The first year would be horrid. and for that to be on the shoulders of two young people like that, who volunteered to go out to a corrupt country of poverty-stricken, desolated streets and houses. Again, I cannot applaud you enough. I mean, what you guys are equipping yourself with right now in order for you to be able to progress with your life is something that you could never get from anywhere else. And I thank God for this opportunity that you're getting right now. Talking about God, how does faith work in Uganda?
Okay, do you want to... Should I tell mine?
Yeah, you tell me your experience.
Okay, I'll tell you first my experience, and then Jess will tell you hers. I experienced that they think they're really baggy. When you go to church, they ask you for money. When even you go to a fundraiser to build a church, you pay to get in the fundraising, but still they walk around with the basket and a microphone, and each and every guest is supposed to
say how much money they're giving.
Stand up and is supposed to give more money than he paid to get in the fundraiser.
Wow.
And it's just they act like they are really, I'm a Christian, and they act like they're Christian and they're good people, but being good person and being a Christian isn't all about praying every day and going to church every day. It's so much more. It's not giving money into your church, and it's not how much of a. Are you getting me?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just so much more.
Another thing, Uncle.
Yeah.
Obviously, the school that we've been working at is a Catholic school, and there was one time. I know I need to relate back to caning for this situation again, but there was one time where the nun was caning a child,
and she just laughed. And
we said to her, "Okay, we don't find it appropriate. We don't like it." And then from then, like, she started talking to us about how bad she feels when she does it. But then there was many other incidents after that where she would cane a child in front of us, and because we leave the room then come back in, she laughs at the fact that we left. She goes, "Oh, you couldn't stand here to see the child get caned." No, we can't.
And she thinks
so. There was
really
one
funny.
time where I got really angry with her, and I said, "Sister, where in the Bible does it say to cane a child?" And she couldn't answer.
And then we said, like, I said to her, "Do you remember when Jesus said, 'Let the children come to me, don't let them be afraid to me'?" And
Suffer the children to come unto me, he said.
Yeah, exactly. And don't you think the children would be afraid, obviously, if they got beaten? And she didn't know what to say. She had no idea what to say, and she's a nun. And it's just horrible.
Faith and religion can often differ when mixed with culture. And the Bible can be misquoted.
Exactly.
Spare the rod and destroy the child, or whatever it says in Proverbs. I suppose they'll use that one because discipline is also good for character, but it's how that discipline is administered. We used to have a saying back in the day: no matter how much you've got to discipline a child, leave them feeling good.
Yes.
Is there any comfort to the children when they're punished? Is there any explanation? Is there anything that gives them an understanding of why they're being punished and what lesson they're meant to be learning from this, so that they can be able to progress from where they are to where they need to be?
No, it's just if you misbehave, then you get beaten. So don't misbehave or we'll beat you. And they have a saying here that is Jakukuva, and that means I'll beat you.
Right. Just standard.
And even another situation that has really affected me as well is the fact that what the adults do is what's the word? Inflicted on the children. Like, they'll be playing games of caning their friends.
Exactly. That
just to see
horrible.
Who can take it the most.
Wow.
And you get children from the age of 3 doing it.
So you actually get children playing this caning game.
Yeah.
That must be a sad sight to see.
One of the teacher, like, the kids are really, they steal from each other. They don't, like, we're trying to teach them to, like, appreciate each other and to treat one another like you want to be treated. But they steal from each other, and that's a really big issue at our school. And one of the teachers stole from me a pen and
said he was going to steal your shoes.
Yeah, and said he was going to steal my shoes, and he didn't even find it weird at all. And the children, they get caned if there's a possibility this one had stolen, but they never have any proof. Yeah. And it's really hypocritical because he stole my pen and was using it in front of me when he has the audacity to cane children for stealing.
Wow.
Because he knows it's not his pen.
Is there any acknowledgement is there any awareness that the fact that they can't show love to these children says more about them than it does about the children? Is there? Do they not? Does anybody get that?
Yeah, it's just like we said before. We just don't think these people are happy with where they are and
with their lives,
because all they talk about is that they want to come to the places we live, and we're gonna invite them there, and they don't want to be here.
The Bible also teaches to love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and etc. Blah blah blah. And then it also goes on to say, but the greatest commandment of these is to love your neighbor as yourself, right? And I'm sure as Christians you both understand that concept within the Bible. But the question I have to ask then, therefore, is how can you love your neighbor as yourself if you have no love for yourself? Because you can only give what you've got. So where will they get theirs from? That's the adults I'm talking about now. Where do they get theirs from?
I feel like they really think that, and I feel like we've come in, and like me and Yana have like a really good bond now, and we thought that maybe by them seeing us, it will help them to open up and love one another, but no, it doesn't.
So you guys,
like,
you guys have said that you've been to church and you've been to these church fundraisers while you've been out there. What are they? What are they teaching in these churches then? What are they teaching?
Para teaching.
Yeah. What are they teaching in these churches? What is the foundation of their message?
Okay, they're just speaking Ugandan.
Yeah, we don't actually understand.
We just understand the begging part.
Okay, so there's no translation, so you don't understand what the message that they're actually preaching.
The sister, she tells, like the nun we're living with.
Yeah.
Like
she's able to translate some things for us,
and it's like it's just a completely different thing to know the Bible back and forth and the commandments back and forth, but to follow them, because they don't. They are far from being good persons, and especially the sisters, which you think would be a good person and with good morals, and it's really sad to realize that isn't the case. Yeah.
So clearly something that they're teaching in the church or whatever they're saying is not going through. Like something is corrupt.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
because
all they
of
do
the
is
way,
ask for money.
And
well, it sounds like they're just going to church to give money, and then they go home and they're miserable because they've had to give all their money. So they go back to school the next day and they go and beat all the children because they've had to give their money in church.
Yeah.
And like one of the time, the children were singing in church. The children from our school, and they were singing and praising God. And when they got back, I witnessed them all in a circle,
laying down.
Yeah, laying down, and they were getting caned one by one and yelled at and punished. And I was like, "What is going on here?" And
what was they being punished for?
For not singing good enough in church. I mean, that is just wrong, because the fact that they're in church praising the Lord, it shouldn't matter how they sound. But yet they get punished because they're not singing well enough. They're not singing gospel well enough.
So because
I asked why the trainer came.
Pardon?
Say that again. Yana, what was that you just said?
Nothing. You keep on going.
You said why wasn't the trainer caned? Is that not what you said?
Yeah, it's always they always beat on the minority. Children hurt animals because they have so much animals that they have to beat someone that's smaller than themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So the children didn't sing well enough, so they were marched out, laid down on the floor, and each of them were beaten in turn because somebody felt that they didn't sing well enough.
On Sunday after church.
Yeah.
Wow.
On Sunday, as soon as church was done,
Wow.
the teachers that taught them the choir marched them back to the school, made them lay down on the floor on their stomach with their back facing up, bare skinned, jumped up to make sure there was power in the hip,
And
caned.
And we can hear the whip. We are often in church because her is more comfortable than mine, and we can hear when they are like, we can hear the whip. It's horrible because we hear whips and we hear cries, and it's surrounding us all day.
And all night.
All night.
You
And
know-
one time...
No, carry
There
on,
was-
Jana. Carry on.
What was it? I was crying. It was, and they lied to it.
Go on. You can tell the story as you like it. This is your time.
There was a little that was crying and yelling, and we had gotten into our bed, and we were gonna go we had started
Getting ready to go.
getting ready to sleep. Like, I was in my bed, and Jess was just in her room, and I seriously thought someone was getting raped or seriously beaten by his husband, or I didn't know what was going on. And me and Jess went out both at the same time and met each other and was like, what is going on? Should we go do something? And it was really hard because we didn't want to walk in between something and but we to help, but it was horrible. And then we went down to the sound.
Yeah, to where the sound was from.
And there was a lot of people there, and then they told us it was a little boy that refused to have a bathe, but it was really late at night, so we questioned why
was he bathing at that time when they normally bathe between the time of 6 and 7 or 5 and 6.
So we seriously questioned their truthfulness to us that night, and we think they were lying.
Wow.
They were hiding something serious.
Jazz, you're staying. Jana's going, and you're going into kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
What changes do you expect to see in the kindergarten? Obviously, no caning, right? No caning.
Yeah. I think it will just be filled with happiness. Because there's another volunteer from Iceland that we met out here, and she's teaching at a school.
No, she's in office work.
Okay, she's office work at the school, but she's always there.
Yeah.
And she sees what goes on, and she's already said to us, the children there are just always happy. They're not caned or anything. And it's just basically her hometown. So I feel like...
And it's a school from, from England?
Yeah. But I just feel like at the kindergarten I go to, it will be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well listen, right? Here we are now, because we was really looking forward to this update, and this has been really informative. I can't tell you just how informative this has been. The chat room has been buzzing with questions, but we was also hoping, and I'm glad the next question comes from your mother, by the way, Jazz, because we was really hoping. Yes, your mother's tuning in and she's listening, and I think we're all a bit gobsmacked, if the truth be told.
Hi, Janice.
Right, we're all a bit gobsmacked that things have been as bad as you say that they've been. So your mother asks, is there anything positive? Let us know something nice. What was how it was commented as in the chat room. Tell us something nice about Uganda and your trip out there.
Of course, there are plenty of nice things, but the worst things tend to stick in your mind more than the nice things. But
I guess what's taken me in is how close I got to the children, and just knowing that they were able to come to me whenever they had a problem and confide in me, because I'm not like the other teachers.
So it was easier for you to build relationship with those children, do you think?
Yeah.
They're really nervous about telling the sisters that they're sick, because if they're sick, then they are considered like a problem. So some of them came to us when they were sick, and we got like
Help them with
medicine and rest and things like that.
Yeah, because even when they're sick and they could have malaria, but they'll still get sent to class. And me and Joanna saw that and thought, no, that's not right. So there was a number of times where we actually went into the class, because a lot of these kids we have got close to, and they'll come to us and tell us when they're sick, or we can just see it and know that something's up. So there was a number of times where we had to go to their classes and ask their teachers to let them out because they needed to rest.
And they just said they're fine.
But we did manage to get quite a few out. Yeah. I guess.
And the library.
Yes,
we
the
are
library.
Really
We're
proud
really proud
of
of
the
that.
library.
We are so proud of it.
It was such a hard work. We did it all by ourselves, and we're just.
And we're not professional painters or decorators, but we got it done.
And it's pretty.
Well, let me tell you, us here on World Jam Global Radio, we're proud of you two. We're very proud of both of you. Let me ask you another question then, Jazz and Yana. Because I would believe that lesser people would have given up and walked away by now. How important has your faith been in order for you to be able to stay stuck to what you've been doing?
Well, Jazz has been really helpful. Yeah, you are.
Her mother and father are well rooted, let me tell you.
She is a godsend, I'm telling you. This would have been so hard without Jazz. And like my faith is Christian, as I said before. And I went to like Sunday school when I was little, and I was taught good values and Bible stories and appreciation, and that just
It helped to get us through.
Yeah, it just
really helped.
And some of the kids, the kids have this praying time, and like they ring a bell, and then everybody's supposed to go pray. And if somebody doesn't show up, they go around caning them to get them to the place. And one of the kids asked me a while ago why I never prayed, because I told them I was Christian, but why I never prayed. And that's just the thing, like they are taught, because they have to show their faith so much. They have to I'm a Christian. This is my name. It's from the Bible, and it's just, it looks like they're showing off, because
it's all for show.
I pray when I'm yeah.
But I can honestly say that, back home, whenever my mum said to me, have you prayed today, Jazz? I would answer no. But over here, if she was to ask me the same question, I can say I have prayed many times. And I know that God has been answering my prayers.
Wow. So, I'm not going to ask you what you pray about just yet, but have you had an understanding of what they've been praying for out there, the kids, for example, or even the adults, or whatever? Have you got an understanding of what is their prayer life, or what have they been praying for?
They're just repeating things from the Bible.
Right. So there's no personal prayer.
No, they just it's really complicated to try to explain, because it's really all like
No. I get it. I get it completely. It's religious. What you're trying to say is it's religious. It's not faith-led. It's religious. It's almost man orchestrated and man ordered and man maneuvered. It's religious.
Yeah.
And the nun. I heard her like we were talking about the Muslims because there were terrorist threats from where was it?
Somalia.
Yeah. And then she made fun of their god, Allah. And that's just not right because someone else believes in other things than you, then you have to make fun of them. It's just not right.
So let's move back onto some good things because we've got about 5-10 minutes left before we finish this call, and I want the people back here, our World Jam Global radio listeners, your family in particular, to be left with a good taste in their mouths when you finish, Jazz. Because at the minute, if I was your mother, I'd be trying to find if I can't find a plane to get you on, I'd be hiring a plane to come and get you.
We sure love those bananas, though.
So let's just say I was an anxious parent, and I was an anxious father or an anxious mother. I want you to tell me why I should let you stay there. What's in it for you?
Making an impact.
Because
She's making an impact, a huge impact.
I was gonna say, things can't just be changed like that. So, by many different people coming over, like, even if it's just the smallest change, it's still a change.
It just starts with one person.
Yeah.
That's all that need. It's all you need, one person.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, I don't think I could have put it any better myself, girls. I don't want to kind of drag this out for too long. I know you guys have got a. I believe that you're going out for a meal tonight, Jana.
Yes, we're gonna say goodbye to each other.
Okay, so listen. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna kind of, unless there's anything that you lot want to add, anything that you want to inform us on, I'm gonna give the next couple of minutes or so to you guys to say your hellos to everybody else. Don't forget this is recorded; it will be up on YouTube later on. So Jana, your family will be able to hear your interview, and Jazz, you already know that your family is listening to yours. So here's a couple of minutes for you guys to say your hellos and your well wishes. And send words of encouragement to your families and to the listeners on World Jam Global Radio. For the next couple of minutes, the air is all yours.
Oh, okay. Hi everyone, I miss you all.
She did that things with her hands, if you know what I mean. When she puts them together and up by her ear like she's throwing a baseball.
Okay. And another thing is, I hope that what we have said has like inspired you in a way, and that if your children, aunts, uncles, cousins, if your children one day say to you, can we go and volunteer, I hope your answer is yes, because everyone can make a difference,
And it sure makes us a stronger person.
It makes you such a strong person.
And this experience, like, it's more than the 20 years I've lived.
Mm-hmm. It's very inspiring too.
Yeah, it is. And to see that we have an impact on the kids and that they like are willing to come to us
And respect us.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
Yes. And never try to hurt us or disappoint us.
Yeah.
Is amazing. So even though we had said a load of negatives, there are also a lot of positives, like we're sharing with you right now.
And like, we've been here for 3 months, and that's just how life is. Like, if we were home, it wouldn't be all up. It's up and down, though.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more extreme here. It's from beating children and over to bungee jumping. So
it's an amazing experience.
Listen, Jana, you're about to. I mean, your time in Uganda is finished. Jazz, how much longer are you out there for?
3 months.
You're out there for another 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, your cousin Linda Smith says, hi, Jazz, you are a true inspiration. I would encourage my boys after hearing this. Probably wouldn't have done so before. Lucian Rose says, my nephew Trey, Dion's son, is going to India for the summer to help out. So people, so you know, I would just like to add that you know, we are absolutely proud of what you're doing out there in Uganda. We do feel that what you've been able to share with us tonight has been a real eye opener. I don't think anybody expected it to be as bad as that. But for two young girls to be out in Uganda doing what you're doing under the extreme conditions that you're doing it in, and to say that you're still staying out there and sticking with it, you are a credit to this country, you are a credit to your parents, and you are most importantly a credit to yourselves. And I think even more so, the fact that you are both Christian, I would say that you are an absolute credit to the kingdom of God. So all I can say once again is thank you very much. Hats off to you. We are proud of you here at World Jam Global Radio, and we will continue to support all you guys are doing out there. And we feel absolutely blessed to have been part of this journey that you're on. We're proud that we've been able to sponsor you and support you in the ways that we have. And more importantly, we just pray that God continues to bless you, cover you, move you, direct you, protect you, and lead you in His ways, and make more opportunity for you to have impact with these children that you're working with out there in Uganda.
Thank you. And I want to say a massive thank you to everyone listening in on World Jam Global. I can't say it, Uncle.
World Jam Global Radio.
Yeah, there we are. World Jam Global, for the support that they showed and are still continuing to give me.
Well, look, hopefully we'll have another update from you in a month or so. Please feel free to message me anytime you want to share some news, and we'll just do this thing. Because as you know, we love you, we miss you, can't wait for you to come home, and your mother is probably biting her nails as we speak, thinking, oh no. But hey, I think the most important thing that I can say and that I can see right here in the chat room is that everybody is just so proud of you all, and I think the children across the world could take a leaf out of your books and just travel out to somewhere and help out and just try to be the difference, try to be the change that you want to see. I suppose if that's any message that we want to send out, that's the message that we want to send, is if you want to see change, you've got to be the change that you want to see.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead, Yana.
I just wanted to thank everybody, and especially Jazz's family and her mother and father, because she's a wonderful human being, and you wouldn't think that she would have to come to Uganda to have such an impact on an Icelandic girl, but she really did. And she is just the friendship we have made here, it is wonderful, and I'm never that we're gonna have to cherish. And just we have been staying strong together and sticking on to each other literally. And I just wanted to thank you for raising up a wonderful daughter. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Yana. Yeah, go ahead, Jazz.
What you said about the children coming out to volunteer in different countries, it can also be adults.
Very true.
So if any adults there want to go and volunteer, yes, go for it. It's an amazing experience.
Absolutely.
And you won't regret.
As you know, I volunteered and set up my own charity for over 8 years, working with drug addicts and alcoholics. So I know the value of volunteering. In fact, I once did a show on radio called The Value in Volunteering. So, you know, we just say, you know, World Jam Global Radio to the world. We go global. And I think there are many, many people who are listening live who will be inspired. And there are many people, when this show goes out worldwide via YouTube, will be inspired. And most importantly, the most important thing of all is that they would have been inspired by Yana and Jazz, because you two girls are absolutely remarkable.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we're going to say goodbye for now, and we look forward to hearing from you again. Yana, get my details from from Jazz. Find us on Facebook. Find World Jam Global on Facebook. Stay in touch. We'd like to know how you develop from your experiences.
Yes.
And maybe we can catch up with you pretty soon.
Yes.
Yeah? Because
I'm going to have to listen when Jazz is on the radio.
absolutely, because the bottom line is this is going to have impacted you, and you're going to be taking something back to Iceland with you, and that's going to change you forever, and that should show in what you do when you get back to Iceland, just as it will do for Jazz when she comes back here. What she's received, what she's learned while she's been out there is going to be something that's going to impact the same thing when she gets back here in the UK. So thank you very much for being with us. Join the chat room, join World Jam Global Radio, keep us updated on what you're doing and how you're doing, and we'd just love to hear from you guys again.
Thank you, Uncle.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
I love you all.
Well, we love you all, and we look forward to hearing from you all very soon. I don't even want to end this conversation. It has been so long that I would just let this carry on. You know what I mean? But yeah, all good things have got to come to an end, and we need to save something for the next time. So the chat room is saying best of luck to you all, girls. Safe journey home, Yana from Linda Smith. Laro says that we're going to send Jazz to Iceland. There's all sorts of messages coming out here. If you was to join the chat room, you'd see all for yourselves. But everybody is just so proud of you and so pleased to have been able to get this update right here on World Jam Global Radio. And the best of luck to you, Jazz, at the kindergarten coming up this week.
Thank you, Uncle Kevin.
Okay.
Kervin,
Yes, Yana.
you can tell Janice to start making the bed because I'm coming in August.
Wow. Janice, I hope you heard that. She says, Yana says, start making the bed because she's coming to the UK to stay at your house in August. Well, when you come down in August, I'm going to make sure that I find a way to meet you, speak to you, connect with you, just to find out how things have been going for you since we last spoke. But God bless you all. God protect you guys and take care of you in all that you do. And all I can do is pray God's undoubted favour in your life for whatever else you've got to do. Thank you, girls, for joining us on World Jam Global Radio. It's been fun hearing your updates, and we look forward, as I said, to meeting and speaking with you guys again very soon.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bless.
World Jam Global Radio. This is clarity.
Wow. I actually don't know what else to say. That was an absolutely amazing eye-opener for me, and I'm sure it was for you. I'm going to be back right after this track.
I'm going to say you're Jamaican representing for World Jam Global Radio. I say you don't know. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
dream of. If all you need is my time, that I got plenty of, I'll dedicate all my love unto you only, baby. I wanna stay by your side, be there to cool you up, and let you know everything will be alright. What you going through? I wanna be down. I wanna be down. I wanna be down with you. No matter the time. No matter the time. It's true. I wanna be down. I wanna be down. Got to be down with what you go through. I wanna be down. I wanna be down with you. I wanna be down. No matter the time of day and night, it's true. I wanna be down. I wanna be down. Oh, yeah. I wanna be down with only you, my baby. I wanna be down with only you. Oh, yeah. It's true. I wanna be down. Got to be down. I wanna be. I got to be. I wanna be down with you. Down with you. Day and night. It's true. I wanna be
You know, last week we were doing a show on the unlawful killing of a young black man out there in South Carolina. Today we were out in Uganda, talking to two young girls who are volunteering in some most difficult circumstances indeed. Next week I'm going to be back in America, and I'm going to be talking to a guy called Bill Pelk. Now let me just tell you a little bit about Bill Pelk. He's the author of a book called Journey of Hope, From Violence to Healing, and it details that on May the 14th, 1985, after the murder of his grandmother, Mrs. Ruth Elizabeth Pelk, a Bible teacher, by 4 teenage girls. Paula Cooper, who was deemed to be the ringleader, was sentenced to die in the electric chair by the state of Indiana. She was 15 years old at the time of the murder. And Bill Pelk, who originally supported the sentence of death for Paula Cooper, then went through a spiritual transformation a year after. In other words, he was born again the year after his grandmother was killed. And started to pray for compassion for this young girl, Paula Cooper, the 15-year-old that had murdered his grandmother. He actually became successfully involved in an international crusade on Paula's behalf, and in 1989, that's right, just 3 years later, her sentence was commuted to 60 years in prison. And he managed to get over 2 million people from all over Europe, especially in Italy, who signed a petition, including Pope John Paul II, who requested mercy from the Indiana authorities for Paula's life. She's now off death row and continuing to serve a sentence. We're going to be speaking live in Indiana next week to Bill Pelk. So last week we were in South Carolina. In fact, we were all over the States and the UK. This week we were in Uganda. Next week we're going to be in Indiana, talking to a man who, after the murder of his grandmother, found compassion for the person that killed his grandmother, campaigned for them, and got them off their death row sentence, and had their sentence commuted to life in prison instead. He now heads and chairs several organisations, and he heads the National Coalition to abolish the death penalty, and he also is a board member of Murder Victims Families for Human Rights. So that's another big show coming up next Saturday on The Fing Is It. And as I said at the beginning of the show, we've decided that The Fing Is It will now concentrate and focus on some of the most serious concerns around our world, especially wanting to be the leading light where police brutality and police corruption is concerned. So please stay with us, and we'll also be having more encouraging stories like the one that you've just heard from Jazz and Yana out in Uganda. I've also got Ronald Congoli and Jennifer Thompson, one coming out of somewhere in Africa, and I can't remember where at the moment, but this was a particular tough story of a woman who accused a man of rape, who then realized that he was not guilty, and she became the one that campaigned to have him freed from his sentence after being the one responsible for getting him sentenced in the first place. We got that show coming up soon also. I'm going to play one more track, and I'm going to give you an update on one or two more shows that we've got coming up in the next few weeks. But hey, we're doing things differently right here on World Jam Global Radio.
We are not alone, no. We are marked alone. Hey, yeah, man, you don't know it's Mitch again, representing for World Jam Global. It live, it up.
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
Don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, you got George Flavors with his Saturday Soca Jam.
You never try me, still right by me. Make it lively, highly spoken of. Only love, the only one. You're my wifey, make my life complete, sweet. But you know when I flip the street, freak. But only when it comes to me, see. That's why you're my wifey. I should've known, cause you had my mind blown. You jump at the club on bump like what? I had to have you, babe. Saw you outside, the passenger side, cause I let my best.
Big shouts going out to Scott Max, Sean. Big shout outs going out to Dr. P, DJ Laro, George Flavors, Linda Smith, Lucian Rose, Janice, Criselda. Big shouts going out to Errol.
So critical, you look so crucial, girl. Something about you, it's everything. You are mine. Still right by me. Pull up the tune. I'm in the boss. Pull it up, again. That song the muy caliente. Adios mío. Pull it up.
Sounds of Next. Middle track entitled Wifey. "17 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock. Well, I'll be handing over to George Flavors. Been a big show this morning. Tonight. And we got some more big shows coming up on World Jam Global Radio. Keep it global.
Only when it comes to me, see, that's why you're my wife. I should've known, cause you had my mind blown. You jump at the club on bump like what? I had to have you, babe. Saw you outside, the passenger side, cause I let my best friend drive. You was in line, that's when you caught my eyes, girl. You were so beautiful.
Come on now.
So critical. You look so crucial, girl. Something about you, it's everything. You are mine. Still right by me. Make it lively, highly spoken of. Only love, the only one. You're my wifey. Make my life complete, sweet. But you know when I flip the street, free. Only when it comes me, wifey. That's why you're my wifey. You know you're sexy too. I like your attitude. I ain't even mad at you. Girl, you're still my boo. Either braids or weave, skirt or jeans, you're still my queen. Baby girl, go do your thing. I'm so glad you're on mine.
DJ Laro, you're too cheeky, man.
Beautiful, so beautiful. It is so pretty, girl. You look so crucial, girl. Something about you is everything you are.
Right after George Flavors. 10 till 12. You got DJ I Sean. The Bronx, New York. With his one drop special. Just want to thank all my World Jam Global Radio colleagues and DJs for encouraging me to take up the Fing is it. I think together we can make a difference. I'm looking to take this thing on a whole nother level. Let's make it count. Big announcement right after this. Behave, Laro.
Yes, I'll be your wifey.
Say you'll be my wifey, girl.
Yeah.
Will you be my wifey?
Yes, I'll be your wifey.
Say you'll be my wifey, girl.
Yeah.
Yo. You're in tune to World Jam Global Radio.
Oh boy, these guys have got me creased up in here. And now listen, I got a big announcement for you on May the 16th. That's right, May the 16th. Put it in your diary. Right here, Saturday, May the 16th, from 6 p.m. till 8. That's almost a month away, I know, but it's a big show. Now, are you ready for this? You might just want to get your recorder out so you can record this and play it to somebody because it's that unbelievable. But on May the 16th, that's right, in just over a month's time, right here on the Fing is it, alongside Dr. Feelgood, we actually have 2 United States of America presidential candidates having a live debate right here on World Jam Global Radio. Mrs. Cynthia McKinney is one and Christopher Spada is the other. Right here on World Jam Global Radio. Confirmed. I got the message and the confirmation finally this morning. We've booked the date. It's May the 16th, right? An American presidential election debate right here on World Jam Global Radio. DJ I Sean, I know you're going to want to be finding out what's going on with that. But hey, we're also going to have Dr. David Ramey, who was also on the show last week. Very intellectual, very vocal, very intelligent and well-spoken man who's well knowledgeable in the politics and referendums of America. He's going to be an additional guest on that show, refereeing and getting involved, rolling up his sleeves and getting his teeth into some stuff. So I'm looking forward to that show. I hope you are. We've got another show. Well, let me just save some for later. All right, it's now 12 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock. I'm telling you something. We're doing it big right here on World Jam Global Radio. And let me tell you something. By the way, gentlemen, it is only coffee in that cup, whatever proof you want it to be.
World Jam Global Radio. This is Clarity.
Pick your Afro daddy, because it's flat on one side.
Yo. You're in tune to World Jam Global Radio.
You need to pick your Afro daddy, because it's flat on one side.
I'm gonna say you're Jamaican presenting for World Jam Global Radio.
You don't pick your afro.
Let's do it.
And remember, you do all your chores before you go anywhere.
One side high.
Always bring the fight.
Well, you said you was gonna take me to see Wu-Tang, baby. Oh, my, I'm feeling high. My money's gone. I'm all alone.
You can't see from there anyway.
The world keeps turning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day.
World Jam Global Radio. This is Clarity.
Manifest with every lesson learned. If your knowledge works,
No mercy, no mercy, no mercy.
we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, no, no, no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. Well, no, no, no. Right to the break. I go on and on and on and on. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. On and on and on and on. Baby, I'ma sing my song. I was born underwater with $3.06. Yeah, you may laugh, 'cause you did not do your math. Like 1, 2, 3. Damn, y'all feel it? Oh. Like 1, 2, 3. The world keeps turning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day. The man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. Does it seem colder in your summertime and hotter in your fall? If we were made in his image, then call us by our names. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, no, 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 no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. Oh, no, no, no. All night to the vulture song. I'll go, oh, no, 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 no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. No, 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 no. Mad props to the God job. You feeling kinda hungry? 'Cause my high is coming down. Don't feed me yours, 'cause your food does not endure. I think I need a cup of tea. The world keeps burning. Oh, what a day. What a day, what a day.
I know that ain't my tabletop she got on.
To destruction, 'cause you don't have nothing left. The mothership can't save you, so your ass is gon' get higher. Most intellects do not believe in God, but they fear us just the same. Oh, no, no, no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. No, 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 no. You get me, so just leave it alone. Wait, no, no, no. My life keeps moving like a rolling stone. Oh, no, no, no.
World Jam Global Radio. This is Clarity.
So we got George Flavors coming up at the hour of 8 o'clock. He's going to take you from 8 until 10 with the Soca Jam on Saturday. We then have DJ iSean coming to you live from New York, the Bronx, from 10 until 12 with the One Drop Special. There is no Church Before Church from me tomorrow morning, but George Flavors will be sitting in for me. and just throwing a few tracks. I'm actually preaching at a church in Birmingham, so unfortunately I won't be there in the morning, but George Flavors will be covering for me, so please just support him anyway. And then we have a full lineup tomorrow with George Flavors from 8 until 10. Then you're going to have DJ Laro with the Sunday Soca Aerobics from 10 till 12. Dr. P is back from 12 until 2. George Flavors back again with you from 2 till 4 with some of the greatest love songs you'll ever hear. I Sean back from New York, 4 till 6. Then you've got Early B from 6 till 8 with the Future Grooves, followed by the Captain, DJ Matt, from 8 until 10 with the Time Tunnel. That's our weekend selection for now. Please, if there's going to be any changes, stay tuned in, locked in. You will be updated by the DJs as the weekend progresses. We love having you on board. We enjoy our weekends with you. We're looking forward to some more surprises for you. We've got some summer surprises to advertise to you very shortly as we're trying to put it all together. The weekend football results are Arsenal have won 2-1 and Chelsea has beaten Man United 1-0. Those are your full-time scores. And then you've got Tottenham coming on tomorrow against Newcastle, and I won't be online to tell you, but I'm sure somebody will. It's been a great day. 5 minutes left before I go. Just once again want to thank each and every one of you that has been online, supporting us in the chat room, contributing and getting yourself involved. Want to thank Yana and Jazz again out there in Uganda for an absolutely amazing job that they've been doing. And you know, Griselda said that if they just impacted one person, that then it would be a victory. Well, let me tell you something. They impacted several people right here on World Jam Global Radio, because I, for one, am impressed. I, for one, am impacted, and I, for one, have been inspired by the amazing resourcefulness of 2 young girls gone out into a conflicted, controversial country which is full of governments and official corruption, and they've still been able to make their presence felt. And the most important thing to remember, as far as I can hear from what they were saying, was their faith, their beliefs played a major part in their strength and their ability to be able to overcome and sustain what it was that they were going through. So that's it. Yaz and Yana. Yana's coming to the UK in August, so I'm quite sure that we'll hear a bit more about her on World Jam Global Radio. We'll be updated with Jazz again very shortly as she heads out to Kampala to go and work with the kids in the kindergarten, and we'll get an update from her in a few weeks' time on how that's going. Don't forget, next week I've got Bill Pelk from Indiana with his journey of hope, from violence to healing. Don't forget, his grandmother was murdered by 4 teenage girls. One of them was only 15 when she was sentenced to the death penalty on death row, to be sentenced to death for the role that she played. And this man, having had his grandmother murdered, found a relationship with God, started to pray for compassion, and then founded and led a successful campaign to have Paula Cooper's sentence commuted from death to 60 years in jail. That's an amazing story, and we're going to hear it right here on World Jam Global Radio next Saturday, May the 16th. 2 presidential candidates right here on The Thing Is It, and so much more to come. Please, whatever you do, tell a friend to tell a friend. It's happening right here on World Jam Global Radio. We're the station that's trying to make a difference. Not for any fee, not for any money, not for any other reason, except people matter. People matter to us. I'm out of here.
World Jam Global Radio, this is Clarity. This is Clarity.
I'll see you next Saturday night. Same time, same place, same channel. Going out to the sounds of Sade. This is no ordinary love. Thank you. I'm out of here.
I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. Gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside. And you took my love. You took my love. Didn't I tell you what I believe? say that a love life that won't last? Didn't I give you all that I got to give, baby? I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I could give. Gave you love. I gave you all that I have inside, and you took my love.